Here are over 25 powerful phrases you can start using today to make your English sound more natural, spontaneous, and fluent. Listen carefully to how I say them and try to repeat them aloud. Remember, the key is not just to know them, but to use them, showing agreement and understanding. These phrases show you are actively listening and agree with or understand what the other person says. They build connection and rapport, making the speaker feel heard and encouraging them to continue. First, exactly. This means I completely agree with you. You've hit the nail on the head. It's a strong, precise way to show agreement, often used when someone perfectly articulates a point. You can use it as a standalone response. For example, if someone says, "This movie is just fantastic, the acting is superb," you can reply, "Exactly. I couldn't agree more." Or if you're confirming a plan, "So if we finish the first part today, we'll be ahead of schedule." Exactly. That's the plan. It's energetic and confirms a shared understanding. Next, absolutely. This is another strong way to say yes or I agree, conveying full certainty and enthusiasm. It's slightly more formal than exactly, but still widely used in casual conversation. Use it when you strongly agree, leaving no room for doubt, or to confirm a positive action. For instance, "We should definitely get some rest after that long day." "Absolutely, I'm exhausted." Or, "Can you help me with this presentation tomorrow?" "Absolutely, I'll be there." This phrase expresses strong affirmation. Then there's definitely. This means without a doubt or certainly. It's similar to absolutely, but perhaps slightly less emphatic, and very common in everyday speech, conveying strong confirmation. Use it to affirm something with certainty and conviction, often for plans or facts. For example, "Is this the best pizza in town?" "Definitely, you have to try it." Or, "Will you be at the meeting on Friday?" "Definitely, wouldn't miss it." It's great for confirming plans or opinions. When you understand someone's viewpoint, use "I see what you mean." This signals that you've processed their explanation, even if you didn't at first. It's a polite way to show you've grasped their idea or acknowledge their perspective. It's especially useful after someone explains a complex or nuanced point. For example, "It's not just about the money, it's about the principle of fair treatment." You can respond, "Ah, I see what you mean now, that makes sense." You'll hear right, often said twice quickly, very frequently. This means "I am following you" or "I understand what you're explaining." It's a verbal nod of understanding, often used rhythmically to keep the speaker going. Use it to show active listening and comprehension during an explanation or a story, signaling you're tracking their words. For example, "So first you click here, then you enter your password to access the system." Right, got it. What's next? Finally, for agreement with a slight reservation, use "fair enough." This means I accept your point, even if you don't fully agree. It acknowledges that their reason is reasonable or understandable, even if it's not what you wanted. It's polite and non confrontational, showing respect for their perspective. For instance, "I can't come tonight. I have to study for my exam." It's really important. "Fair enough. Good luck with your studies." Expressing surprise or disbelief. These phrases are used when something unexpected happens or when you're genuinely surprised by new information. They show your immediate, natural reaction and add emotion to your speech. A strong, informal exclamation for surprise is "No way." This means "I can't believe it," or "That's impossible." It expresses strong shock or excitement. Use it informally when something is hard to believe or incredibly exciting, often with an exclamation and rising intonation. For example, if someone says, "I won the lottery, can you believe it?" You can exclaim, "No way. That's absolutely incredible." To question the truth of a statement, use "Are you serious?" or "You're kidding." These mean, "Is this true?" I find that hard to believe. You can say this with genuine surprise or playful disbelief depending on your tone. "You're kidding" is often used when something sounds too good or too bad to be true, or when you suspect a joke. For example, "I finished the entire project in one night all by myself." "Are you serious? How did you manage that?" A versatile expression for amazement is "Wow." This is a general expression of amazement, wonder, or shock. It's highly versatile and can be positive, negative, or neutral depending on the context and your tone of voice. Use it for anything that causes strong surprise, admiration, or sometimes disappointment. For instance, "She just got a promotion and a huge raise all in one day." "Wow, that's fantastic news for her." For something truly unbelievable, use "That's crazy." This means that's unbelievable, wild, or completely unexpected, conveying strong astonishment. It's informal and suitable for surprising or shocking news, good or bad. For example, "The concert tickets sold out in 5 minutes before I could even click buy." "That's crazy. I thought I'd have more time." Expressing empathy or sympathy. These phrases help you show you care, understand, or feel bad about someone else's difficult situation or news. They build emotional connection and show you're actively listening to their feelings. For an immediate reaction to bad news, say, "Oh no." This is an informal phrase showing quick sympathy or concern, often used for small misfortunes. For example, "I just dropped my phone and cracked the screen." "Oh no, is it badly damaged?" For more significant negative news, use "That's terrible." This means that's very bad, upsetting, or unfortunate, expressing a stronger level of concern. For instance, "Their flight was canceled due to the storm and they're stuck at the airport for 2 days." "Oh, that's terrible. I hope they find another flight soon." A sincere and polite expression of empathy is, "I'm so sorry to hear that." This means, "I feel bad for you. I sympathize with your situation." Oh, it's very versatile and appropriate in many contexts. For example, "My grandmother isn't feeling well and she's in the hospital." "I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope she gets better soon." When acknowledging someone's struggle without overreacting, use "That's tough." This means, "That sounds difficult, challenging, or hard to deal with." It shows understanding and a grounded perspective. For instance, "I've been working 12-hour days and barely sleeping all week." "That's tough. Make sure you get some rest when you can." Showing enthusiasm or approval. These phrases help you react positively and show genuine excitement, appreciation, or congratulations. They add energy and a positive vibe to the conversation. To react to exciting or impressive news, use "That's amazing" or "That's fantastic." These mean, "That's wonderful. I'm very impressed," expressing strong positive emotion. For example, "I got accepted into my dream university with a full scholarship." "That's amazing. Congratulations." A common, informal, and enthusiastic way to express strong approval is "awesome." Use it for almost anything positive or exciting in informal settings. It's a go-to positive reaction. For instance, "We're going to the beach this weekend for a picnic." "Awesome. I love the beach." To congratulate or commend someone, especially for something they achieved through effort, Use good for you. This means well done. I'm happy for your success. For example, I finally finished writing my book after 5 years of hard work. Good for you. That's a huge accomplishment. Remember to use a sincere and genuinely happy tone to avoid sounding patronizing. Keeping the conversation going and thinking aloud. These small words and sounds are what native speakers use to pause, connect ideas, or show they're processing information. They help fill natural silences, making conversations feel much more flowing and less abrupt, allowing you to sound more spontaneous. The versatile so can introduce a new point, summarize, transition, or start a question. It acts as a verbal bridge between thoughts or turns in the conversation, often followed by a brief pause. For instance, the meeting went longer than expected, and then the traffic was terrible, so I'm a bit late. To return to a main topic or change the subject slightly, use anyway. This helps smoothly get the conversation back on track or move it forward after a brief interruption or side note. For example, the restaurant was closed, which was a shame. Anyway, we ended up finding a great cafe nearby. When you need a brief pause to think, use well. This often signals you're about to explain, express uncertainty, or give a slightly reluctant answer. It's a common conversational filler. For example, how was the trip? Well, it was interesting to say the least. To check understanding, emphasize a point, or fill a pause, use you know. It's often used when you expect the listener to be familiar with what you're talking about, or when searching for the right words. For instance, it was a really difficult situation, Like, everyone was very stressed. When you need a moment to consider your answer, politely say, let me see, or let me think. These phrases signal you're processing information and need a brief pause, showing you're giving it thought. For example, what's your favorite color? Let me see. I think it's blue. Politely shifting topic or interrupting. These phrases help you manage the flow of conversation, either moving it in a new direction smoothly or joining in without being rude, even if someone else is speaking. To introduce a related topic that just came to mind, use speaking of which. It's a natural, smooth transition, linking the new thought to something just mentioned. For instance, I just bought a new phone. Speaking of which, have you heard about the latest software update for phones? For a new, often unrelated topic, or something you just remembered, use by the way. It's a more abrupt but still polite shift. For example, the meeting went well. By the way, did you call Sarah about the party next weekend? When you need to break into a conversation, use sorry to interrupt, but this is a polite way to stop someone speaking because you have something urgent or important to add. It signals respect while needing to interject. For example, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to mention I have to leave in 5 minutes. Putting these phrases into practice, your action plan. Learning these phrases is just the beginning. To truly make them part of your natural English, you need to actively use them until they become automatic. Here's your detailed action plan to make that happen. Your first and most important step is to listen actively. Becoming an excellent speaker starts with being an excellent listener.